What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? This is episode 52 of Laughs and Libations podcast. I am your host, QuenaHorace. Y'all, I hope Baldhead come on in. But we got a dope comedian. You've seen him all over the world. You've seen him in Atlanta, Georgia. You've seen him on Comic View a long, long time ago. Y'all, please put your hands up for comedian Howie Bell. What's up?
Hey,
How
what
you
up,
doing?
though? I'm
How you
doing
doing?
good. How you doing, sis? What's happening?
Hey, I'm glad to
Good to
have you.
see you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Hey, good to see you.
But,
Yeah.
but
What's going
hopefully,
on with it?
that much. Hopefully, Baldhead come on in. Hopefully,
Hey,
but
but it don't matter. We're gonna take over Baldhead show. I ain't as ugly as him, but we gonna do the show. You know what I'm talking about?
oh my God.
Look,
Welcome
I'm a
to
good
that.
stand-in. You know what I'm
Well,
talking
welcome
about?
to Laughs and Libations podcast. Man, we talk about comedy first, and then at the end we talk about libations. So
There you go.
tell the
There you
people
go.
where you from and how did you get into comedy.
My name is Howie Bell, by the way, just in case anybody just tuned in and don't know about comedy in the last 30 years. From Detroit, born and raised. Shouts out to the Detroit Lions for winning today. Let's give it up for them. We got to do that. Detroit.
That's what I'm
Born
talking.
and raised in Detroit. Been loving comedy since 1995. Whenever you say 1900, that's a long time ago.
Wrong time.
Yeah, that was 1900. And yeah, just I'm still here. Thank God I'm still alive and still able to do it. Yeah,
So,
I'm blessed.
so what was your first time like going on stage? Your very first show going on stage. What was that like?
You trying to remember? I told you it was
You keep going in and out. I can't hardly hear you.
What about now?
Okay, okay, now I can hear you now.
Not too bad. Let me see. Make sure I'm in the best area though. What about now?
Okay, now I can hear you now.
You can. All right. Sorry.
I can't hear you now. He'll be right back, y'all. We always have technical difficulties on this show. Like y'all know, all the way from beginning to season one, we always have technical difficulties. So bear with us and we will get Howie back. So, but y'all, my week so far it's been going good. I've been trying to get my notes back on my phone. I accidentally deleted them, so I've been trying to get them back. I've been writing some new jokes, looking at my old jokes, trying to, get them back. Okay.
I don't know what happened. I ain't responsible for the technical difficulties.
Right. Me neither.
Yeah, hopefully, I feel like his signal is a little bad though.
Right. It's good now. So now tell the people about your first time getting on stage. What was that like?
Like I was saying, that was so long ago. I do remember it only being two people left in the audience when I was there. I do remember that. And I remember them not laughing. How about that? I
Damn.
remember not really getting the real response, but that was enough though to make me want to keep going. You know what I mean? It was enough. I caught the bug enough. It made me say, you know what, I think I want to do this.
Right. I
So that
know
was
that
good.
feeling. Shoot,
Yeah.
my very first show was on Zoom. Now my first stage show was at KOD. Oh my God, I bombed.
See?
I bombed. I said, oh no, I might go back to KOD and get my redemption. I might,
Yeah, it
but
happens.
it happens, and then I couldn't get a giggle, a snickle, nothing. I said, you know what? I need to quit. But I said, I can't quit. I can't quit. I gotta keep going. So, but
Yeah,
I know
once you do it, it's kind of hard to not do it again. You know what I
true.
mean? So
That's
yeah,
so true.
stand up comedy. That's what
So,
we that's the one thing about it, man. It's the gift and the curse, man. Once you do it, it's like you curse. You can't stop.
her. So now, was you a class clown growing up that made you say, "I want to do this"? Like, what
No,
keeps you going in comedy?
no, I was not a class clown at all. I wasn't even like a funny kid like that. No, but
What?
I was an actor, so I was doing plays and stuff like
Huh?
that. And for me doing plays, I went into comedy, but it wasn't an easy transition. But I had already understood the stage and all that kind of stuff, and how to work a stage and how to make my voice bellow a little louder, come from the diaphragm and all that kind of stuff. Like I had already kind of learned some of the basics of theater, really.
The
And
techniques.
yeah, techniques that a lot of comics really, if you weren't into acting, you really wouldn't know. A lot of
Right.
comedians could grasp it though, because they understand comedy, and understand stage presence. But acting, learning acting early on taught me that some of the technical stuff. You know what I'm saying, before I got into comedy, and then once I got into comedy, I was like, oh, okay, I could do this, I could do that. So yeah.
Shoot. I tell people all the time, if you got stage fright, don't let nobody know you got stage fright when you get on that stage. You better fake it till you make it, cause boy, they gonna eat that fill up. They gonna eat it up quick. So you better play it
Yeah,
off. I still got stage fright.
absolutely.
Tell you, I go on that stage and I be just passing gas on that stage, but people don't even know it. That, this
Your
mic,
own stage passing gas is
that
hysterical.
on stage, that's gas. I'm like, if this mic gets one forward, I'm done for. You
Right,
know?
right.
So what was the best show that you have ever done? And you was like, man, I can't believe I got standing ovation.
I've been doing comedy so long. I'm gonna repeat that. I mean, it's hard to say like what was a best show. You know what I'm saying? Or what was that? I've done so many. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? That had so many really good shows. So I don't know. I would say though, as far as cities go,
Mm-hmm.
um, I can't really think it up. I gotta be honest. I'm sitting here trying to think. I love comedy and pretty much everywhere I perform at, I'm gonna make an impression. I'm gonna try to at least.
Right.
But I can't really pick a best show or a best city because everywhere is fun. And everywhere has its own unique. Like I was just in Chicago and
Mm-hmm.
I had an excellent time in Chicago. And
What?
before that, I was in New York, and before that, I was in Boston. And so I've had excellent shows over the last few weeks. I mean, just everything has been so good. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a
So are
blessing.
you so are you one of them comics that can just get on stage and just talk, or do you have to write for you actually get on stage?
I do both.
Okay.
I do both. Yeah, I'll write. I'll write. Yeah, I'll get up there. I can improv too, but I think about ahead of time a game plan and what I want to talk about and things like that. Yeah, sure,
Okay.
definitely right. Yeah.
Cause I know I've come across some comedians that sit there and say they don't have to write nothing. They just go on that stage and whatever come up is gonna come out. I said I can't do it. I got to write. Cause if I don't
Well,
write, I'm
it's nothing. Some people are gifted like that. You know what I'm saying? Where they don't have to, write down. But I got to at least write down some stuff. I'm like, that was
I'm
funny. Let me put a bullet point down. In my phone. But some comedians are good like that though. I can't, deny it. If that's what they do, and that's what they do.
And I'm like, salute, because I can't do it. I got to sit there and write, because if I don't write, like I said, I will ramble and I will get booed. So I ain't got time to get. So,
Yep.
let me see. What was your first time being on TV like, and what was that show that you did first time being on TV?
Um, I think the first television performance that I had that was recognizable that I thought was BT Comic View, and that was in 1998. I did BT Comic View, and that was incredible. I think Gary Owens was the host. That was my first time doing a television stand-up performance, and it was you know it was I was maybe a little nervous, you know what I'm saying, but it came off good,
You
and
can't
I was
tell.
able to do. I was able to do after that another 5 seasons of BT Comedy. So altogether, I did 6 BT Comedy 6 times. So
You
the
did.
first one was a charm because it also, it springboarded me into the more seasons and to doing more things on television and things like that.
Cause that's where I first saw you at. Cause I can't, Howie, I tell you, honest to God, I cannot remember the joke that you told. But it was so funny to me. I hollered out, and my mama told me, said, if you don't stop yelling in this house and laughing loud, I'm gonna put you outside in all. If you don't quit. And so you told another joke, and I can't remember that joke, and I just hollered out loud. She put me out the chair and all. I said, you know what? Howard just got me in trouble. He just got me in trouble. But I mean, you funny. And I think I was what, 18, 19 back in 98, 18, 19 years old. I said,
See,
man,
look at that. Look at that. You was a young
I'm
one.
baby. I was like, this man is hilarious. I said, oh, I got to keep watching him. Like you said, you did 6 seasons. And I watched all 6 seasons. I said, this
Thank you.
man, look, had me
Thank
laughing
you.
and
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Thank you.
said,
I appreciate that. And I was young too though. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't a teenager, but I was a young man. I was in my 20s, when I first started doing BT Comic View. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was young too.
that's
So
what
I
I
was
said.
learning along the way. Yeah.
Cause I said to myself, I said, now one day I'm gonna get to meet Howie. I don't know how, but I'm gonna get to meet
Right.
him. Cause man, I said I'm gonna tell this man he in trouble. He got me in trouble. Cause Steve Brown almost got me put outside. You got me put out. I said, you know what?
There you go. There you go.
It's just my luck. But so, what's your best 5 cities to do comedy
The best 5 cities.
in?
Got to be New York, L.A., Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit. What's that? 4? Is that
Four,
4 right quick? New York, L.A., Atlanta,
Detroit.
Chicago, Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, okay, now what's the worst show you've ever had?
I've had a lot of those too. Um, plenty of those. Um, my
One that
daughter,
sticks
my
out the
daughter that
most.
came in the house doing cheerleading. Hey, stop your cheerleading! I'm on the podcast. Thank you. I got a cheerleader. I got a cheerleader that just came in. I'm on the podcast. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So, but no, I've had plenty of shows that weren't so good. That weren't so good. One of the most memorable is probably being in Oregon. Portland, Oregon, with Rasheed Wallace when he played for Portland,
Wow.
and that's my guy. And he brought me to from LA to there. He had a birthday weekend and all that stuff. Man, shouts out his birthday coming up too. I think he's on Halloween. I'm the day before Halloween. I got a birthday coming up too, October 30th. So. And I was there. I was there with Anthony Anderson and Gabrielle Union, and there was a whole bunch of other people there. And I went to a poetry night in Portland. And they brought me there. It was a poetry night that Rasheed was hanging out at. And he was like, hey, man, why don't you go up on stage? I was like, all right, bet. Man, I went up there and, it was one of the real poetry nights with the guy with the bongos and the whole. And I remember getting up there. As soon as I got up there, I got into it with some lady in the back. And she was like, hurry up. And I was like, man, shut up, B. I called her, man. As soon as I said that, the crowd was like, boo. Boo, ooh, 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 ooh. Like, man, the guy with the bongos was like, we don't play that here. He stopped playing the bongos. They cut the music on me and everything. That was probably one of the worst shows that I've had. Probably one of the worst. Yeah, one of the worst shows I've had.
You ain't did that since.
I mean, in the history of shows. Yeah.
You ain't do that since, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So I know topic is kind of old, but what are your opinion? What is your opinion and your thoughts on Will Smith getting on stage doing what he did to Chris Rock?
Say it again. Tell me that one more time. Now, what's
What
on Will Smith?
Yeah, Will Smith and Chris Rock. Like when all that happened, where was you at, and what is your thoughts on him getting on us on that stage like that?
You know what? I thought that was.
Hey Tracy.
I don't know. I thought it looked kind of scripted.
Right.
It looked kind of scripted to me, so I didn't. I didn't put too much thought into it. It just didn't look right to me. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? But didn't look right. It didn't look like it was real. You know what I'm saying? It looked like that was something that they had planned to do. And yeah,
Yeah.
so
I
that's
mean,
my opinion on that. My opinion on that is just it didn't look real.
Right.
No.
Yeah, because when I first saw it, I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was fake at first when I first saw it. But then as the next day and the next day, I'm like, this mess was really real. What the what? And
Yeah.
everybody was thinking, and I'm like, oh my God, I said, if this ever happened to me, I don't know what I'd do. Oh my Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that thing, if you look at it from like, if you say, all right, this was a real incident, it didn't look right. It was terrible. I thought that Will Smith looked kind of like a punk for doing what he did. You know what I'm saying? It didn't look right from an optical point of view, whether it was scripted or not. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't look right.
Yeah, because anybody can get up on. I don't care if it's at an award show or a comedy show. Somebody getting up on that stage and kind of comic, man, that's crazy right there. Because let's just say he was at a comedy show, he could have got hurt. Like he could have seriously got
Yeah.
hurt. Like, and we need more security. Like security need. Yeah, we need more security. Whether it's
Yeah,
at a
I
show.
agree. He could have really, well, when you say hurt, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't going to bludgeon him to death, but at the same time, it just wasn't a good look. It's not a good look to see any of our celebrities arguing and bickering, but look, hey, the world has changed a million times since then, though. I mean, think about all the stuff that's happened since that.
That part, man, you've had doggone Cat Williams on Club Shay Shay and just do this right here. I'm like, no, but he woke up a lot of stuff. So what? So did you ever see the Club Shay Shay interview with Cat Williams, or
I
did you
did.
see part? Man, what did you think about that? Cause I was like, just like this. I was listening hard.
Yeah, it was interesting. He made a lot of good points. You know what I'm saying? But once again, you know.
Right.
So when you're a performer, you know what I'm saying? When you're an artist, we don't look at stuff the same way. Like I
Right.
don't look at like a person would. That's your casual person that's looking at entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like, so people get a lot excited about a lot of things where a performer may not necessarily get as excited.
That's
So
true.
people be like, "Ooh, did you see that?" And it's like,
It's true.
yeah,
It's
I
so
saw
true.
it. Yeah, I saw it.
Right.
But I mean, I mean, I guess that's part of the business. I mean, you become a little jaded to certain things. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, okay, I saw that, that was cool, but I'm not really, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, interested like that. Yeah.
yeah, it don't move me. Yeah, I trust me, I get it. Cause when I first saw it, I was like, okay, it's gonna last a couple of weeks, and then we gonna go on to the next thing, and the next thing, and the
Yeah.
next. So that's what happened. We went on
That's
to the
what
next.
happened.
So, but what is your favorite 5 comedy shows to perform at?
What do you mean? Like,
Like like different like the comedy show the comedy clubs that you have gone to. What is your favorite comedy clubs that you have performed?
I mean, listen, we look, we gonna you keep going the same circle. We ask the same questions. It's the same. It's it's the same in all in the same and synonymous with the cities and all that. I don't know the venues to name to you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? To where it's been so many great places. I've been blessed to have a great career. So,
Oh,
but yeah, venue wise, it
mm,
doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It could be outside, inside a comedy club, or a
in the bar.
concert, any of that. I love the Fox Theater in Detroit. Of
Okay.
course, because I'm biased because I'm from here. But I love the Fox Theater. I loved performing in Alaska when I was in Alaska. That was incredible. But it wasn't necessarily the venue itself, it's just the people and the environment that you're in. So, when you say like, okay, what's your favorite city or what's your favorite venue? That's all kind of the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you never really have a favorite when you've been doing it as long because all of it becomes incredible. I mean, I performed at churches that have been they're like really good venues. You know what I'm saying?
That's
In Christian entertainment facilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been so many corporate. I'm actually doing the Soul Train music cruise coming up at the end of January 2025. So that's going to be incredible. I never did a cruise before. So that'll be incredible, and that'll be something else to put under the belt. But yeah, it's so much in so many shows. Like I said, I feel blessed, and it's hard to really pinpoint, put a finger on a
your
specific
favorite.
thing that I've done. You know what I'm saying? That says, "Oh, this is the best." You know what I'm saying? Because all of it's the best.
I get it. So if you could put together your comedy tour, what would the name be, and who would you have on your comedy tour?
I think it's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know. I'll probably call it something like it's been a long time coming. I don't
What's wrong with that?
know. Yeah. But there's so many. Once again, here's the sticky part. So many great comedians. You put me in a tight spot. I can't name who I will put on my show. I mean, I just can't do that. That would be unfair to me and them to be for me to try to do that. So, but as so many comedians that I can choose from, that I love and been working with for a long time, that are really great girls and guys. And yeah, if I did a tour, it would be awesome just to do a tour to even have the opportunity to put certain people that I know in those positions. Yeah, that would be dope.
I mean, I ask this question to everybody, and they be like, "Who? Let me think. Maybe this one, maybe that
Yeah.
one."
You can't
I,
do it. It's too hard.
yeah, it's too hard. I get it because somebody asked me that one time. I'm sitting up here like this. Too many.
Yeah, yeah,
It,
it's too
it's
many.
it's too many. So if you had a guy or a girl come up to you that wanted to do comedy, what would be your piece of advice to give them before they get into comedy?
You know what? The best advice I could give anybody that wants to do comedy is just do it because there's nothing to think about. You can't. Comedy is one of them things you're not going to be able to premeditate how to do it. There's
Right.
no way you can do that. You have to get in the fire to be burnt into the game. That's just how it is. There is no, people can help you along the way and say, hey, you need to do this, or, you should, make sure you maybe make your punchline like this or add this to that. But you as a individual person have to find your voice in comedy, and you have to find who you are as a person and as a speaker,
Yes.
and as a public speaker, as a matter of fact, because comedy is public speaking. We're just being, humorous with it, and you have to learn how to do that kind of on your own because you only know who you are, and nobody can tell you who you are, and it's kind of hard to tell someone how to be them. You have to learn how to be you on your own. So comedy is one thing that I would tell people. The best advice I can give you, you started doing comedy, was to get up there and just go do any open mics that you see. Um, try to do as many guest spots as you can. Just try to get the microphone as many times as you can, because that's going to help you overall build your consistency up, and then kind of help you learn how to do the craft.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Cause I mean, I try to get to as many open mics as I can, because due to the fact that I am in a wheelchair, I try to find open mics, and I know you can't go past that. And I've been blessed enough to not go to an open mic and get on stage, but I know I'm gonna have to get to some open mics. And that's why I'm starting my own open mic here where I live, so that way I
Right.
don't have to stress
There you
myself
go.
out
There you
trying to
go.
get to
Yeah.
Atlanta. So,
Yeah.
cause it's hard for me to get to Atlanta, being in a wheelchair, and then I have to ask somebody, beg somebody to come and get me, cause it's an
Yeah.
hour. So
Yeah. It's
I have
tough.
it's tough on me, but I hadn't quit yet. I'm not gonna quit.
And stand up comedy is tough getting around. Period. So let
Yeah,
alone being that being in a situation where you're disabled, and so physically challenged. So, but just to get around and do comedy and travel from city to city and tour
yes,
and all those type of things we're talking about, it's difficult within itself
yes it
alone.
is.
So yeah,
Yes, it is.
man. Shouts out to all of my working stand up comedians out there that's doing their thing, because it's not an
They're
easy
doing
job.
it.
Yeah.
I I
Yeah.
tell you. Okay, I already asked you that. So if you could, um, let me see. If you could tell people the hardest part about comedy? I mean, not just traveling, but the give people the insight of, like, the part about being in comedy, like the sacrifices you got to make, the hard times, the
Mhm.
traveling. If you could give an insight to people that want to get into this, the down part about comedy, the dark side about comedy or entertainment, period.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say this. I wouldn't even focus on the dark side and the downside of anything,
Like,
because when you start doing that,
uh,
then you setting yourself up for fear or anxiety for something that you don't even know exists. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, don't do this because the boogeyman. I don't. It's not a boogeyman in comedy. You know what I'm saying? I would say the only challenges are with comedy would be like anything else, or like any kind of profession, like a military or maybe a police officer or something where you got to be away from your family, or you got to kind of be out there on the edge. You're not risking your life doing comedy, or like, because shouts out to them, but we're out there kind of giving our souls up to people on a
like,
nightly basis, exposing ourselves and being more vulnerable on a nightly basis. But I wouldn't say dark side. That sounds so terrible. But a dark side of comedy, I wouldn't peg it, because you have a dark side to life. Anything can happen to you in your life. It's not comedy. You know what I'm
like,
saying? It can be just anything.
yeah,
Um, can happen. Yeah.
yeah. So, if comedy didn't, if comedy did not have worked out for you, what would you have done if comedy did not work out for you?
That's a good question. I probably would been an actor. I like acting, so I probably would still been in entertainment in some kind of capacity.
Okay,
Maybe it was writing, maybe acting. It could have been anything. Producing. I love entertainment. I come up in an entertainment family, so a lot of my people, in the family in the business. So it would have probably been something in entertainment. I don't know what it would have been, but I went to school for media arts though, and I wanted to
okay.
be a yeah, I wanted to be a journalist. So
Uh,
I could have been a TV news anchor at one point. Who knows? That was kind of my desire at first, but yeah.
you would have been on TV no matter what it was. I can see
No
that
matter
now.
what it was, my voice was meant to be heard. No.
And it's been heard for a long time, I tell you. People enjoying that voice. As long as you keep doing what you're doing, we're gonna keep enjoying ourselves and listening to you give the good entertainment out here.
Yeah,
So
thank
the
you.
libations part of comedy. Um, do you think it's a good idea? And I know this for myself. Do you think it's a good idea to get drunk or high before a show?
No, And I've done it several times, and so I'm here to tell you that's not a good idea.
That's not
Listen, that is not the business. You really want to stay focused, especially if you are not a even the season vets. Try not to do that as well because it just throw you off. So no, not a good idea. I've done it and it has not worked out every time I did
thank you.
it. Yeah.
Like I told you, my first time getting on stage, I was at KOD and I was drunk. I was
Yeah.
drunk and I never do that again. Oh hell
Nah, you ain't gonna because you're not coherent. You're not, you can't put your thoughts together, and you're not hitting your punches where they should be. Now, some people can get on stage and they can be tipsy and drunk and all that stuff and be funny, but they still can't grasp like what they did. They may not be able to repeat that. You know what I'm saying? That show. So it's like, hey, but no, I
no.
don't recommend it. Now,
I don't
you want to have a drink or you want to smoke some weed, take the edge off. Hey, I'm all for it, man. People need to find some type of relaxation button to hit. That's fine, but you
go
can't be
over.
overpowered by any substance before you get on stage. And trust me, I'm speaking from experience. It's happened to me, and it was terrible. It's not good.
You playing with your money and you don't want to play with your money when you be going on that stage because your money could be gone quick when you sitting up there drinking and being drunk.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So now I want you to tell me about because I know you smoke weed. So tell me about the
Yeah.
time to a show that you gotten high and what happened. Like a funny story about you being high after a
You
show.
know what? I smoke weed so much that doesn't happen to me anymore. Everything is a funny story. Yeah, there's
Oh
like,
my
when I was young, when I was like 22, I could be like, "Ooh, I remember that time." Listen, I got a birthday coming up. I'm gonna be 52 years old, October 30th. How about that? Shouts out to the Scorpios. But no, weed is more therapeutic. It's more medicinal for me. So it don't be like, "Ooh, I smoked some weed and this happened." That don't. That's for the youth. That's for the kids.
for the kids. How would you handle a heckler if you was no when you on stage? How do you handle hecklers? Because some people don't handle them
You know
boys
what?
good.
My best advice to people, especially comics dealing with hecklers, is to address them, but keep it moving. A lot of times, comedians make a mistake of continuously talking to the same person over and over again. Get a whole audience here that want to see this show. They don't necessarily want to hear you exchange back and forth with the same person for this long. So my best advice to deal with a heckler is hit them and keep it moving. Be
Right.
nice, don't be mean. Be
Mhm.
funny too. You got to be funny, and but
Right.
be funny and keep it moving. People don't like when you stay on somebody, feel like you picking at them. So you don't want to pick at nobody, and you don't want to continuously do that and all that kind of stuff. So my advice to the heckler: be funny and keep it moving.
Because you don't know what that person going through, and you might
You
say
don't.
something just
You don't.
explode. So
Yeah.
it might explode in your face. Cause I've seen people get heckled and they did not handle it well, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's time. Peace out. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Uh Well,
Yep.
especially for the comedians, especially if a comedian want to just try to heckle another comedian, that really ain't the good way to do that.
Yeah. I never understood that comedians heckling other comedians. I never understood that. It's like, why are you bothering him? We all in the
You all
same
the same guy.
profession. Yeah, yeah, I never
So
understood that. That's kind of weak to me. If you heckling another comedian, that's kind of weak. Then,
yeah,
that
it's
ain't
it's
cool.
like trying to prove something or you trying to
You're not
embarrass them.
proving you're not proving anything that you're being an asshole because you don't heckle other comedians. You know what I'm saying? That's like an
It's not.
unwritten law. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Now, have you ever had a joke still stole? And if you have, what did you feel? How did you feel about it? And what did you do about the joke getting stolen?
Several jokes that I've had been picked on. You know what? It's not cool. Nobody likes when the joke is being stolen. You work hard. Comedians work hard for the material to come up with something, and you develop it to have somebody steal it. It's not cool. But at the same time, you know, I may not like it, but it's still a little flattering though that somebody would steal from you one of your ideas from your head and try to take it onto their act. That's a little flattering. It's a little depressing from their standpoint because that's a little sad, for
Yeah.
you to have to do that.
Right.
But it's it's a
But
little it's a little bit of
straight.
yeah. You know when people take intellectual property from somebody else,
Huh.
um, they're just really giving you props for being more intelligent than them to come up with those ideas.
Yeah.
So it ain't
And that,
really, that's what
yeah,
maturity does to you when you get older. You start looking at things from a different aspect. Yeah.
that's true. Cause that, I mean, that lets you know that the person that stole the joke really ain't living life. That they have to
Well,
steal.
not to their full potential because they live in life, but they could be doing much better.
Yeah, ooh,
Yeah.
that's so true. Cause man, cause my first show here in Columbus, it was a guy that came from Atlanta, and he stole one of DC Young Fly's jokes, and I'm looking at him like, wait, what? I
Yeah,
said,
that happens. Yeah, I mean that happens all the time. All the time that happens. And people are young, usually young comedians, but you have vets that still too. But
right,
a lot of younger comics because they don't know, they're still trying to find their way in
right,
comedy. So I don't blame them per se because that could be a young mistake. Let me
yeah,
say this, let me say that. Well, I think this is something funny. Let me say this, and really you got it from somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really know unless you tell them. So it's kind
right,
of difficult sometimes. You know what I mean? You can't really judge them like, oh, they're not living their life or they're the worst person ever. You just look at them like, hey, man, somebody needs to tell you, hey, no, that's somebody else's bit. You got that from here, and that's all. And keep it moving. Because
right,
all comics make that same mistake. If you're a good comic, especially, you're going to make a mistake and say something similar to what somebody else has said, or try to say something that you think is original, but you heard it from somewhere else and you don't realize it's in your subconscious. So that's a lot of times, that's why stand up, it's important for you not to be all drunk, high, whatever, so you can kind of know what you're talking about. So you're just
right.
not up there repeating or regurgitating somebody else's information.
It's true. So, do you
Yeah.
think it's important to talk about current events, or talk about your life experience, or do a combination of both?
Combination of both, of course.
Okay. Cause
Yeah.
me, I try to do both, but both don't come out of me.
Yeah. Every
I
show
don't
is
like.
gonna be different though. So, you can't say, oh, okay, well this show, that show. Every show is gonna be different. So yeah.
It's true. That's
And
so
I'm
true.
getting ready to run out and do a show.
Oh my God. So okay, now this is my last question for you. So how important is mentorship in comedy? How important do you think it is for an OG to mentor a baby comic? How important?
Very important. I think very important. Like I said, you're not gonna learn unless somebody tells you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna know your mistakes unless somebody says, hey, don't do that. Like nobody can teach you how to be you. Going
Right.
back to that at the beginning of the interview, nobody can, but you can tell someone how to be a better version of themselves, if that makes sense. And so, yes, mentorship is important in life, not just comedy. You always got to have somebody that you can look to that can say, yeah, but I would do it like this, or maybe think about it from this way. That's mentorship. Mentorship is not telling you what to do. It
Yeah.
is encouraging
Showing.
you to be better in ways that you may not see yourself. So mentorship is definitely needed. I think it's
Mm,
needed for all people. I don't care
right.
what genre of entertainment you're in or life in general. I think mentorship is very important. I think we all need it. We all need somebody we can talk to.
That's true. Have you ever had a comedian or young comedian come to you and say, Howie, can you be my mentor? And have you had time to actually mentor somebody? Because I know you
Sure,
feel
sure, sure. I got comedians right now I talk to all the time. Yep.
that's
That
good.
come say, hey, what you think about this, OG, or what do what can I do better in this situation? Things like that. Sure, sure,
Right,
sure.
right.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely. That's a
I
blessing.
sure, because I sure thank you for coming and playing with me today. Baldhead tried to make it. He said ain't no Wi-Fi where he at. So,
It's okay.
but
It's all good. Tell him we held it down for him. It's all love.
But I thank you for coming, cause you have given me some of the game. Cause Ballhead, he's my mentor. Grady, he's my mentor. Steve Brown, They'll get me together if I'm doing something wrong.
Those
So
all good brothers. Those all good brothers right there.
good
Yeah.
brother. So they and Grady trying to get me to go to Chicago. I said I'm not coming to Chicago so you can get me stuck in the snow and laugh at me. Don't do that.
Well, I just left Chicago. It was beautiful this past weekend.
Right.
The snow coming
Thank
though. It's
you.
coming soon.
Thank you so much for coming to do this interview. I'm glad I got to get you on here because I've been wanting to get you on here for so long.
And
Come play
anytime you
with.
want me to come, I got you. Just let me know.
I'm, I'm gonna get you to come back next time. Baldhead will be here next time. But thank you
All
so
right,
much.
come on with it. I love you. I appreciate you and
Love you
Ballhead.
too.
And this was nice. It was beautiful. I appreciate it. Anytime you need me, I got you. It's your brother Howie
All
Bell,
right.
y'all.
All right. See y'all later, y'all.
All right, baby. One love. That's what I'm talking about.
All right.